So last weekend when I was out hiking, I came across a gentleman who he enjoyed bringing coffee on the trail, but he didn't have a good method to bring it with. And I did bring enough with, I was able to share with him. And because of that, I'm going to do a quick video of some of the options you have to bring that caffeine fix and or the coffee with you. To start with, when I was visiting a friend of mine in North Carolina, he doesn't drink coffee. He only drinks tea. And while I was down there, I told him, hey, I need coffee. And so he picked up some coffee for me before I got down there. And what he picked up were these coffee tea bags, just like any kind of tea, but they're filled with coffee. Normally I drink about 2 of these. What I'll do is I'll just rip them open, drop them into my jet boil or whatever pot that I'm using, fill it up with water, bring it to a boil, pour. I'll continue to add more water to it as I need, usually until I'm done drinking coffee in the morning. I did find some other brands when I was up in Alaska. They had just a store brand. Unfortunately, I've looked. I cannot find these coffee tea bags here in Minnesota. And so whenever I travel, I try to pick up an extra bag or two. With that being said, when you go to a hotel room, a lot of times they'll have single serve coffee for their coffee pots. Never hurts to ask for a couple extra so you can throw them in your bag and then either hit the trail or take them home and just kind of squirrel them away until you're ready to use them on your next trip. Now, a lot of people will use the Folgers or other instant coffees. These are normally really bitter. I just don't think they taste great. And for the weight, you're not saving that much for a really crappy product that personally I don't like drinking. Unless I have a lot of creamer, then you're adding more weight. Some of the other options are a meal or a meal substitute, which is just a water enhancement, which it carries a little caffeine, gives you some vitamins, which is nice. A little extra vitamin B in the morning helps wake you up, keeps you moving. Some of these, they do have electrolytes in them, so they're also nice to have along on the trail because they're lightweight. They'll go a long way. And when you're drinking water for, say, a week straight, or you're getting your water from a questionable source that sometimes can taste maybe woody or muddy, the water flavor does help mask that and will make your trip a little bit more enjoyable. And so when I'm doing a no-cook backpacking trip, I'll take that with, so that way I can take and just do a little squirt maybe in a Nalgene bottle, and for the first hour down the trail I'll be drinking this Nalgene that has an energy mix with it to keep me going. It'll help me avoid any kind of caffeine headache due to the large amounts of coffee I do drink for work, and it also helps just change it up a little bit from that water that you drink all day every day. Now when you are out on the trail, some people really like their creamers. This is something brand new that I found. It is a Mio. It's just a flavor enhancer. Personally, I don't like it, but it's an option to bring with. And instead of bringing a powdered creamer with, which actually can be used as a fire starter if you've ever played with it, that's going to be an option to help give you a little bit more flavor. The last option that you have would be to go to your local vitamin store, GNC or Vitamin Shop, and just ask them, tell them you need an energy pill for whatever activity you're going to be doing. And most of those will have a bunch of vitamins and other herbs that will help boost you, give you a lot of energy, but they'll also have a lot of caffeine. So if you substitute maybe 1 or 2 pills in the morning and instead of your coffee, yeah, it might be a lighter option, there's no trash, and you just keep moving. That would work as well. I know that I used to take a lot of those a couple years back when I was working out a lot, and now I just don't find a need for that. I prefer to still drink my nice warm coffee in the morning when it's a little bit cooler before you get on the trail while you're packing up. What I'm going to show is one of the kind of do-it-yourself coffee methods that I've done in the past. It works out great, real minimal trash and lightweight. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around and show you how I built it. Alright, so what you're going to need is just a plain old coffee filter. You'll need 1 filter per day that you're going to be hiking. This filter will take and probably provide coffee for 2 to 4 people. If you're hiking solo, it'll work just fine. Just make sure you limit the amount of coffee that you're going to be putting into it. It's very simple. Take 1 scoop of coffee, add it to the filter. If you like it a little stronger, or you have more people, add an additional scoop. Take your coffee, filter, take it, fold it up. And there is no right way to do this as long as you seal it up. Now, there are a lot of different filters that you can use. There's the cones, which will work good on this. You just fold the ends over. There's smaller, larger ones. This is the larger one because in the morning, between me, my wife, and anyone else that's drinking coffee, I normally make 12 cups. I will then take a stapler, 1 staple, there you go. So what you'll do with this is you'll throw it into a pot of coffee and let it boil, or I should say a pot of water. Throw it in, bring it up to boil, and then just pour coffee out of that pot as you need it. Continue to add water, continue to boil. The other option is take a cup, throw it in, add hot water, leave it sit for a minute, and go ahead and start drinking. The beautiful part about this is you have a filter that's biodegradable and or burnable. So if you let this dry out, you can burn the trash. I never hike with wet grounds. I normally cut it out and dump the grounds out on the ground. This way you're relieving yourself of that little bit of weight, and it's all natural, so you're not being an eco-villain. If you have any questions about this, or you have suggestions on ways to bring coffee with you that are a little better than making your own tea bags, or even purchasing tea bags, let me know, and I will be putting together a video for my Portland trip, which will be coming up here in June, July, and with that I'm going to be using Energy Mio water enhancement for that. I am going to go with a cold trip. We're going to bring no cooked food with, just because I will be traveling on an airplane, and I prefer not to take my JetBoil and then have to buy a new canister of fuel on there. Plus, it'll keep my pack a little bit lighter. Wonderful trip wherever you guys are going, and watch for my next video.